Okay, we're recording right now. Hey, everybody in Keego Harbor. It's Rob Kalman, and I'm joined by Katie Sexton, who
Hello.
is also actually lives here in Keego Harbor, and she and I are going to talk about the Clinton River Watershed, and of which Keego Harbor is a member. Some of you might not know this. I mean, Katie and I have we met you about a year ago during some of the interviews for one of the planning sessions. And then we were talking last week how it would be a cool thing for people in Keego Harbor to understand more about the Clinton River Watershed, since we're a member and we're talking about quality for the water and the streams and some of the we're going to go into it in a sec, but I think it might even be helpful just to start with, a question. So what is, for people at home, what is the Clinton River Watershed, and why should they even be interested in it?
Absolutely. So the Clinton River watershed is a geographic area. Essentially, a watershed it's a geographic area that's delineated by changes in elevation, and everything in that specific area drains to a common body of water. So when we're talking about the Clinton River is 700, or the watershed is 760 square miles. It's part of Oakland and Macomb County, also St. Clair, Lapeer, and Wayne County. And it ultimately ends up draining into Lake St. Clair, which is the drinking water source for about 4 million people in Southeast Michigan and Canada. So what we do as an organization is we work to protect, enhance, and celebrate the Clinton River and its entire watershed. And Keego Harbor is in the heart of the Clinton River watershed. All of the lakes and surface water streams here are part of the watershed, and the Clinton River itself actually comes into Cass Lake, opposite of Dodge Park, and then it goes through Otter, Sylvan Lake, and it comes out in Bodette Park, and then it actually goes underground in Pontiac, and then continues downstream, ultimately ending up in Harrison Township and Lake St. Clair.
Wow. So that's a lot in a short amount of time. Thanks.
It's a
So
big area, yeah.
I know. So a partnership with Keego, how does Keego play into what can we do? What if you enlighten our residents as to why we're a member and what we do as part of it?
hmm So, yeah, absolutely. So, as an organization, the Clinton River Watershed Council works with three main program areas: education, stewardship, and watershed management. And the City of Keego Harbor is a government member and a stormwater member, meaning there are services that we provide to the city and its residents in order to improve water quality and mitigate the effects of stormwater pollution. Essentially, stormwater pollution is when it rains or snow melts and water runs out across roads, roofs, driveways, and it picks up a lot of pollutants, and it ends up in our lakes and streams that are right here in Keego. And so we work with communities, we work with residents to educate them about things that they can do at home in order to prevent some of those negative impacts from the pollution. We do that with all kinds of things, and we've actually adapted pretty significantly during the pandemic. So we've had a lot of outdoor workshops, hands-on workshops. We teach people, it's called River Safe, Lake Safe. So that's a certification that you can take. It's a self assessment that you can do at home in order to kind of see where you are in terms of your practices inside and outside of your house or your home, and how they impact stormwater and water quality. And then we give people tips on little things they can do just to make it better.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So the self-assessment, it's on your website, the crwc.org.
Yep, so you can visit our website, crwc.org. There's an events page with all of our upcoming events. There's volunteer opportunities listed there, and there's all sorts of informational resources if you want to figure out how to become, more watershed friendly at home.
All right. That's good. I always know that when they spray the lawns, they mean the other, pesticide and the weed control. I know that there's a
Yeah.
permit they often need to get to actually, to do so in each community. So
hmm
probably something we pay attention to. How can we as a city, even residents, get more involved in the importance of the watershed and stewardship? And I know we talked a little bit about your self-assessment. Is there something as a community that you've noticed larger communities have done that we could maybe do here?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have a few different programs. We have Adopt a Stream, which is a citizen science program. We train volunteers on how to monitor water quality. It's not complicated at all. It's, an hour-long training and then you're ready to go. That actually just happened last weekend. And so the next event we have is going to be in January. But visit the website, you can find out how to get involved there. We also have our Keeping It Clean program where we do cleanups within the watershed and people can volunteer just to pick up trash and debris. And we also have Stream Leaders, which is our K through 12 program where we get kids outdoors in waders. We get them in the water, in the river, collecting data and collecting live bugs. So those are all opportunities that you can do on an individual basis. But as a community, we have a program called Water Towns. And I think Keego would be a great candidate for this. It's essentially, we give you a $5,000 mini grant to implement some type of green infrastructure or cultural enhancement or community development program that connects you to the water resources in your community and also helps educate your community about how to keep them clean. So water towns would be a great approach to doing something on a community basis.
That's interesting. We're actually exploring some potential over at Fernleaf Park. So this interview just gave me an idea as to your Watertown grant we might be able to piggyback off of while we're
Yeah.
working with a company. The name of the company, they're based in Ann Arbor. It's escaping me, but you probably would know them
Okay.
if I mentioned it to you.
Gave
Um,
me an idea too. I don't know why I haven't thought of that sooner. Like water towns would be perfect for Keego.
yeah, it would. I'm happy we did this. I mean, I guess working at home during COVID is going to be pretty interesting. What have you guys done a little differently to help the communities?
So we created some new programs. One of them, we did our virtual weekly clean program. So that's our cleanup program. Before we could do anything when the stay-at-home order was still in place, we encouraged people to do their own cleanup around their neighborhood or around their house. We also did a Stream Leaders online. So we created modules that students can do at home, and also short videos like 1 to 2 minutes detailing how to monitor and how to sample. And then we followed it up with some prompts to encourage the kids to get outside because that program was great, but it was more screen time. It's a video that they're watching. And so we're like, well, here's what you can do. Go outside, look for this, look for XYZ, make some observations, things like that. And then we also came up with the Clinton River Quest, which is a self-led scavenger hunt. And it encourages people, there's 32 different options or 32 different activities for people to choose from, whether it's doing a cleanup, going paddling on the river, visiting a restoration area, visiting a rain garden, all kinds of different things. And that was really successful. We had over 70 people sign up and complete the quest. And it's only $15. You get a t-shirt and a map and a guidebook. And it's a really great way to get acquainted with the watershed and the different recreational resources that we have. So the trails, the parks, the lakes, the rivers, and kind of get introduced to what we do as an organization and how we like to involve the public.
It's a lot. That's pretty cool. Um,
We
I,
stayed busy this year, even working from home.
yeah, it is. It is. There's so much. I mean, I went to the website last night and there were a couple of reports. I was shocked. They're very detailed. There's a lot of information at crwc.org. And so I'd encourage everyone at home in Keego to head over there, take a look at it. And we're lucky. You happen to live in Keego Harbor. You're my neighbor and actually grew up here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're a WB alum. Yes.
I am a WB alum, and I was just talking to somebody else who's a fellow Laker who's also in the water resources field the other day. It's nice to meet other, people that have graduated from Westwoodville High School and are working in the environmental or water resources field. Part of the reason why I started working at the Clinton River Watershed Council over 2 years ago was because it was something that's so close to home and something that I'm personally invested in and that I, have a personal belief in and want to protect. And yeah, I enjoy Keego. I think it's a great community and I'm excited to see what we can do together with the council and the city and the community.
All right. Thank you. Everybody that's talking with Katie Sexton from the Clinton River Watershed Council. We're going to keep it pretty short. I think it's a great start to a collaboration. I'm glad that we had the chance to, meet each other this past year and continue the conversation. And it's the first time I think I've done a community interview like this, which I'll upload to Facebook a little bit later, and maybe even our city website so people can learn more about it.
Yeah.
And we'll continue the conversation. If anybody has questions that you'd like me as the mayor of the city to follow up with the Watershed Council, you can always email me, khcouncil@gmail.com. That's council, COUNCIL, @gmail.com. It goes right to me. I think most of you have my mobile phone number, 248-505-4377, which I make available to community members. Katie, thank you. Is there anything else in closing that you'd want to share with people in town?
I think that's pretty much it. Just visit our website if you want to learn more. And we're always looking for memberships, whether it's individual memberships or government memberships. And so if you're interested in becoming a member, please do so. It just is a small donation, and we are a nonprofit. And so we always appreciate the community support. And there's plenty of free programs, events, and stewardship activities for everybody to get involved in. And so we hope to see some more Keego residents get involved with the organization. And
Thanks.
if you see me around the neighborhood, feel free to ask. I'm always walking my dog, so
Yeah,
I'd be happy to share info.
Yeah, that was the last time we saw each other. It was my dog met your dog, and we talked
Yeah.
environmental quality. Hey, thank you. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, so let me